You are now tuned in to Papi Chulo Radio, your web portal for the best in pop culture news and interviews.
Miss Piggy stole my necklace.
Oh! Miss Piggy, how could you?
No, I don't know anything about it. Hey, somebody must have put it. You! It was you, Colonel was right.
Oh, no.
You're a phony! Yes, you are! You know what? You can't even sing! Your voice was dubbed!
This is a Papi Chulo Radio special announcement. PapiChuloRadio.com is currently looking to expand its web presence, and we're looking for your help. If you're a fan of Papi Chulo Radio and its signature series, please visit GoFundMe.com/PapiChuloRadio and help us with our campaign. Every dollar amount donated will be improving the Papi Chulo Radio experience and making it more interactive and user-friendly. We thank you in advance for your support. This has been a Papi Chulo Radio special announcement. We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming. The following is a Papi Chulo Radio original program. The views and opinions expressed in the commentaries and/or interviews in the following program are solely those of the individuals and are not views of Papi Chulo Radio, its parent, affiliate, or subsidiary companies.
Welcome to Summer Camp, a PapiChuloRadio.com and iTunes exclusive. Papi Chulo Radio, pop culture on demand. I'm your host and camp director, Maurice Gatewood. Tonight on Summer Camp, we're going to explore some of Hollywood's campiest flicks, cult classic motion pictures, and fan favorite films. Please welcome my co-host, the hip-hop legend, and our assistant director, Dead Lee.
Hey. Oh, what's wrong? Hey, Mama Mia, what's up?
What's happening?
That's okay. It's however you feel. All right. Our director of residential life, the man from the future, Legionnaire.
Hello. Greetings, campers. Let's do this.
All right. Our activity leader, the artist known as Vanetta Berry.
Hello, y'all. It's a Greek island.
Hey, Oompa, y'all. Oompa. And serving it up hot and spicy, Mr. Derek Anthony.
On the menu tonight, sweet tea fried chicken.
All
because
right,
things that taste great by themselves don't necessarily go together.
And
I love sweet tea.
That's our head chef talking on. And last and certainly not least, the man himself, our camp owner, Mr. Jeffrey Arus.
It's very Greek.
All right. Before we begin, here's one of our campers on our PA system with a few announcements on how you can interact with us via social media.
Thank you for the intro, and sorry for the microphone feedback. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCR Summercamp. Follow us on Tumblr, summercamp-pcr.tumblr.com. Follow Papi Chulo Radio on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Papi Chulo Radio. Do you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or concerns? Email us via contact@papichuloradio.com. Help support Papi Chulo Radio financially by visiting GoFundMe.com/PapiChuloRadio. Help support Papi Chulo Radio financially by visiting GoFundMe.com/ facebook.com/PoppyChuloRadio. Are you interested in joining the Poppy Chulo Radio team as an on-air personality or blog contributor? Email talent@PoppyChuloRadio.com. Binge listen to your favorite Poppy Chulo Radio programs by visiting PoppyChuloRadio.com/archives. You can also download tonight's broadcast and the rest of the series through iTunes. Just search for Poppy Chulo Radio Summer Camp and subscribe. Now, grab some popcorn and some snacks. It's time for your feature presentation. Back to you, camp counselors. Oh, not again. Sorry for the feedback.
Thank you. It's time to fire up the film projector so that we can discuss 2008's Mamma Mia. Here's the official synopsis of the film. Set on a colorful Greek island, the plot serves as a background for a wealth of ABBA songs. A young woman about to be married discovers that any one of three men could be her father. She invites all three to the wedding without telling her mother, Donna, who was once the lead singer of Donna and the Dynamos. In the meantime, Donna has invited her backup singers, Rosie and Tanya. Okay. That was short and sweet.
I like sweet tea.
Sweet tea. I like hot tea.
Oh. Or high tea.
I like high tea.
Alright.
Pop culture on demand.
So, who has seen this one before? Let's start with you, Mr. Arus.
Yes, I've seen the movie many times, and
Many times.
I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a mess, but like a fun mess, and I like it.
Okay.
Don't judge.
And that, basically, yes, that was the answer.
Yes, we can end the podcast now. Campers, you may return to your cabins.
That was not true shade. That was just kind of like...
No, it's not the way Deadly puts you in your place.
Oh, bam.
Deadly is just like, stop talking. Shut up. Stop talking. Speaking of Deadly, had you seen this movie before?
I'm scared if I should say anything. No, I haven't. Just no.
So,
A virgin.
I won't say nothing else.
No, because we're about to, we're gonna get into it.
Okay. No.
You offended Deadly.
Jared.
I had never, ever, ever seen this or anything like it ever before.
Yes, that's the right answer.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you work in just saying no, but with a peppering. Well, he's the head chef, so he knows how to pepper some shade into just that. You know.
He's got that paprika.
It was
Paprika.
short and nasty. Legionnaire.
I had seen the stage production, but I had never seen the film.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting so excited. I'm surrounded by virgins.
How often can you say that?
I know, right?
Valletta.
I too am a virgin. I had never seen it before.
Ooh.
Oh my god, and I know sure as hell Maurice has never seen this.
And I too, was deflowered this afternoon.
This is amazing.
By this movie. Okay. What's a good starting point for this? Let's go with
the cast.
The cast.
The cast.
Amanda Seyfried. Stellan Skarsgård. Pierce Brosnan. Nancy Baldwin, Colin Firth. They're skipping over
Dominic.
Meryl Streep.
They got Meryl Streep down near the and Christine Baranski down like 8th or 9th down. But okay, so we have this pretty much all-star cast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with Amanda Seyfried.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with her, so I didn't have any opinions one way or the other. I have one now, but I didn't before I watched this movie. When this movie was advertised, was it really advertised as a Meryl Streep movie?
I think it was more so advertised as "This is Mamma Mia," and you can
In
now see it
advance.
with stars.
But I mean, I think Amanda Seyfried got a lot of the top billing, though.
I remember some of the commercials, and I remember seeing Meryl Streep
Yeah.
put kind of in the forefront.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I always got the impression that they were making this like
Meryl
Amanda-
Streep and Pierce Brosnan got a lot of the commercial screen time.
and they should have.
Well, maybe
Okay,
not him.
So we're on this Greek island,
Yes. All of us
And-
together.
and Amanda Seyfried is getting married. Her character is getting married. I have a bad habit of doing that, calling the characters by their role. Sophie. So Sophie's getting
Yes,
married
Sophie.
to the
Sky. To Mr. Stark.
played by Dominic Cooper.
Yes.
From Preacher.
And also from Iron Man and Agent Carter.
Yes, he plays
Wow.
the father.
Yep.
He looked different.
He was younger.
I was about to say he was very young.
But it was only 10 years ago.
Jesus
9
Christ.
years ago. But then again, we are not, let me not say that I don't want something to sound racist. So I won't say it. But I mean, I've seen pictures of Legionnaire from 10 years ago.
Oh.
He is a time traveler. I just want you to know that. He's either a vampire or a time traveler.
Or he's got a picture. He's got a Dorian Gray. He's pulling a Dorian Gray on you.
On a flash drive. Knowing him, it's on a flash drive. You know. Wow. Oh, okay. So, how many ABBA fans do we have?
I don't know that
I can't stand
I
ABBA.
enjoy.
Oh no!
How many?
It's the whole movie, Deadly.
Wait, hold on. Derek was in first, and then
I
he did leave. Derek,
would call myself fan. Or I call myself a mega fan. Like I really don't know that much about the group, but I will turn some ABBA on while I'm doing other things and sing along.
Okay, Dilly.
The only ABBA song I could kind of deal with was that little sample Madonna used, I think. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Time moves by so slowly.
Yeah. But I've never been a fan of ABBA. I know there's something about that music that just brings me down.
Oh, that's so funny.
Depresses me. It brings me down under.
Deadly was suicidal after
Wow.
watching Mamma Mia.
It does.
How can money depress you?
It does.
Hey.
Their singing depresses me.
No,
Something
that's
about
too
it.
funny.
Lay all your love on me. You didn't like that one?
Mhm.
And then you mix it with the two most boring white guys in movies, Pierce Brosnan and Colin Firth. Oh my god.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, that's too funny.
We're gonna get to that. Legionnaire, do you appreciate ABBA?
I do. This movie reminded me how much I appreciate ABBA. Because I went in. Well, I went into the theater production, the Broadway production, knowing some of ABBA's music, but I walked away with like a really full appreciation of where they're placed in music history, and this movie kind of brought that back for me.
Vanetta, are you an ABBA fan? Or do you? I guess I want to ask: did you know the songs and did you appreciate any of them?
I knew most of the songs, and I do appreciate them. I was a big ABBA fan, and then I almost moved to Sweden, and then that was kind of this surreal, like, this is where ABBA, like, seeing all the places where they made this music was really awesome. So that kind of made me more of an ABBA fan, but I had never seen the movie, so this kind of like, this was interesting. It was a very interesting connection.
We're gonna get to you in a second, Jeffrey.
Okay.
I could tell he's like, ask me.
I was sort of thinking that, so that's kind of creepy.
But I will say, I didn't realize how many ABBA songs I knew, and I did like ABBA. One of the things I did like about ABBA is their vocals were always flawless. If you would see them on a show or something singing live, they sounded just exactly like the record, which is rare, which is very rare. They always sounded really good, and they always sounded sort of pristine. Mm-hmm. Some of the songs, felt a little bit on the sort of cheesy side, but some of the songs that I remember liking weren't like Dancing Queen, and I mean, I like Dancing Queen, but they weren't some of the ones that were not as popular. And I was like, that's right, that was ABBA, which kind of made it a little bit interesting to hear them sort of singing over the track sometimes. Like they would put the track underneath them singing.
That was weird.
That was a little strange.
Are you talking about in the movie?
Yeah.
I think they did that to make it seem like more real. Like some movies do that so it seems as if they are singing live. Like they'll have them sing live while they're shooting it instead of like fully lip syncing, and so they'll dub some of it with the pre-recorded track, the studio quality, and then they'll include some of the live vocals to make it seem, I don't know, I guess they do it to make it seem a little bit more natural. I think it's a little weird too. Sometimes it makes sense, but sometimes it is a little distracting.
Well, I know you're thinking like they did that with Les Miserables too. Like
they
had them sing, and it wasn't that successful. But I mean, which to me kind of sometimes made it sound like karaoke a little bit. But let's talk about the singers. Let's talk about singing. Did it take away that some of the people weren't really good singers?
Yes.
Or did it make it make it more realistic?
No, it took away.
Yeah.
I remember reading a review when this first came out in theaters, and I 100% agree with it. They said that Pierce Brosnan sounded like a water buffalo. And I don't know what a water buffalo sounds like, but I imagine Pierce Brosnan singing.
That was going to be the highlight of tonight's episode, but you already went there, so.
Okay.
I was watching the movie. I had to stop it and text somebody and say Pierce Brosnan should never sing.
Yeah. Fortunately, he doesn't have that many songs.
Or that many lines.
There you go. But yeah, oh my God, like no bueno. Like it's just, and like there's at one point when they're singing SOS, and he starts singing, and Meryl Streep reacts, and she has this horrified look on her face, but she's reacting to what he's saying, but in my mind she's reacting to his singing.
She probably was.
Yeah, she's like, why are you singing to me like that?
Even Meryl Streep is not that good an actress.
It's no bueno.
So here's the thing. Here's my thing. I like ABBA's music. I like Pierce Brosnan. I like Meryl Streep.
Do you also like Pierce Brosnan?
If y'all keep calling him Bronson.
Bronson. Remington Steele. I like all of these individual pieces, but then they got thrown together in this pot, and it just tasted horrible.
Oh gosh. I'll say Pierce and Stellan probably had the worst voices. Everyone else, in my opinion at least, were decent. I think Amanda had a really great singing voice. And Meryl, I was actually surprised by. I was scared she was going to sound like really bad. And some songs work with her and some songs don't. But overall, I was more impressed than not with Meryl Streep singing.
Well, she can carry a tune.
Yes.
She does sing in Postcards from the Edge.
Okay. And
She
Into the
does
Woods.
sing in
And Into the Woods.
she does
Yes.
sing in Prairie Home Companion. Um,
I think this was the movie that Trump was talking about when he said Meryl Streep was overrated.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like
Wow.
agreeing with Donald Trump. I think you're right.
You know what?
I personally did not have a problem with any of the singing. I
Even
didn't think
Pierce.
Well, Pierce Brosnan can't sing, but I didn't expect any of them to sound like ABBA. So
Well, there's that too.
I wasn't particularly bothered by the fact that Pierce Brosnan can sing. I didn't expect Pierce Brosnan to be able to sing. So that was no surprise. So it was all pretty serviceable to me. I mean, I would never want to hear him try to sing again.
Yeah.
But
I thought maybe
I've definitely heard worse.
I thought maybe we would get a surprise like when Mel Gibson sang in Pocahontas, or something like that.
No.
We did not. But,
wishful thinking.
I actually, and y'all are gonna probably be shocked, but I actually like Meryl Streep's voice better than Amanda Seyfried's voice.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, because it was strong. It was strong, and it wasn't perfect, but it was strong. I mean, Amanda Seyfried. Okay, I'm giving out
flavor though. It had no flavor. Come on.
It was a little one. It was a little one kind of timbre. You know what I mean?
One note.
Kind of heavy, but Amanda's voice kind of was a little squeaky for me. I don't know. But I am going to say, acting wise, I'm gonna have to give Amanda Seyfried the Leah Rochelle Award for. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm an actress, and I'm in a movie, and I'm acting. It was. She was just giving
poor
me
Sophie.
That. She was giving me that. I'm in a movie and I'm acting. I'm an actress. It's like, okay, we believe you. It's like, we believe you. Okay, just be the character. Okay. She bothered me. I don't know what it was, but she really, really annoyed me.
Well, to be honest, as much as I love this movie, there really isn't much of a story there. I mean, it is a 2-hour musical episode of Maury, who's the daddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the story that is there is really kind of jacked up.
Yeah, and the whole thing doesn't make any sense with the cast. Because if you think about it, Donna Meryl Streep got kicked out of her mother's house because she had a baby basically out of wedlock and because she was too young. So that means, I'm going to guess, she had to have been like 17. And if Sophie is 20, that means Donna is supposed to be 37. And I love me some Meryl Streep. And Meryl Streep can play anything. She's played a man, she's played an old person. She cannot play 37 when she's in her late 50s.
When she's clearly older.
This movie has revealed Meryl Streep's shortcomings as an actress. She can't pretend that Pierce Brosnan can sing, and she cannot play a 37-year-old woman.
Yes.
Even
and like everyone else, like her, I would assume that her backup singers are supposed to be around her age. I would assume that maybe the men could have been a couple years older than her, but the math is really fucked up with the ages and stuff, and that always takes me out of it because I'm like, no, it's not adding up.
The other
What did you guys?
that part was that she got pregnant. She didn't have a place to stay. Somehow she connected with what's the guy with the boat? Skarsgård's character connected with his auntie.
Bill.
Yeah.
Connects with her, and that's how she ends up with the villa.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, so did you hint that this could be his baby and it happened to be blonde, so she believed it? Because he says there's this one part where he goes, wait, I had an aunt named Sophie.
Yeah, and I
And
heard that.
she owned this
Right.
villa.
Mm-hmm.
She owned this villa at one point, and then she was like, "Yeah, Sophie gave this villa to my mother." Wait,
And I
this
always
villa
heard-
is only for family.
Yeah.
Right.
It took the guys in this a really long time to figure out why they were there.
They would. I mean, why would they have even come? I don't know. Just the whole premise that they would even come. You know.
And I haven't
was-
heard from this woman for at least 20-ish
20
years.
Years, right?
We had like a sexy time on an island. Because like Sam was really the only one that she actually had like a love affair with.
Right.
Bill was basically like her. What do you call it when you try to get over someone?
Rebound.
Rebound.
Your rebound.
Okay.
Bill was the rebound, and Harry, he was still trying to discover himself. So
She was his beard.
yes, she was trying to
Right.
Well,
help him figure it out.
Harry made out better than anybody. If you ask me.
Got him a nice Greek boy.
Yeah, a nice young Greek boy.
Harry gonna be all right. So carry on, Jeffrey. I didn't mean to.
Yes. No, but yeah. So I mean, the storyline is very weird.
And
So
her character and Meryl Streep's character is just not a good person.
Well, if you think about her actions, because she really doesn't want this wedding to happen.
She doesn't want the wedding to happen. She wants her daughter to stay. She wants her daughter to sacrifice herself to stay there to help her with this place that is falling over. The girl just wants answers about who her daddy is. She's all caught up in her own personal feelings about, you don't need a father, you got me. Bitch, who the fuck are you? You don't have a penis. And yeah, the girl probably shouldn't have snuck behind her back and did XYZ, but did you really give her a choice in the matter?
I love it. I love
And
how
then-
he just broke it down psychologically.
I had a lot of time to think about this while I was trying not to listen to them sing ABBA songs.
Okay. Wait. Maurice, you never asked me the question, but I was not that familiar with ABBA's music before seeing Mamma Mia. I think the only two songs that I had ever heard was like Dancing Queen and Waterloo. And it wasn't until I saw this movie that I realized that, as Deadly was saying, that Madonna sampled. But I did enjoy the songs. And it made me go back and listen to ABBA, and Legionnaire hooked me up with the Megamix.
All right. So Christine Baranski,
Fantastic.
We were talking about her a few weeks ago, and too bad that Damien is not here tonight. But she was one of those actresses that I describe as having one note, but it's a high note, where some one-note actresses don't have a high note. Like, we've seen this character from her before, but I thought she was really good. I mean, she's a Broadway actress, and she sings, she dances, she's done Broadway.
She's flexible as fuck.
And it shows, and it shows. I thought these two supporting characters added something.
Mm-hmm. It also showed that the daughter didn't fall that far from, the apple didn't fall that far from the tree, because her friends were basically echoes of Donna's friends.
Yeah, but they weren't interesting. They weren't interesting.
Well, there you go.
They were not interesting at all. I'm sorry.
The only thing that saved this movie was Tanya and Rosie. I did like Tanya and Rosie.
Yeah, Tanya and Rosie were more interesting, I think, even than everybody else. And Rosie,
Pepper. I did like Pepper, too.
Aw, Pepper.
And Rosie looked like Billie Jean King.
Oh, my gosh.
She did.
Did anyone know who she was?
Nope. I had no idea.
Who was?
She played the Weasley's mother, Molly Weasley.
Yeah, Julie Walters.
And she was so, like, dialed down in this. I was just like, I couldn't place her. I was really disturbed by her. And
Oh my
then she did the
gosh.
last number where she's like basically
Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance.
take a chance on me, and it's just like I don't really like that. And then I was like, but I loved her in all the Harry Potters. It's just really I
like
was really
Rosie.
disappointed.
I love when she falls in the water. It kills me every time, and I always know it's coming.
The thing that got me with her character was I thought that she was going to be a lesbian.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, one of the guys turned
'Cause she was
out,
butchish.
one of the guys turned out, and she was going to be kind of.
She was giving you Butch Queen realness.
She was giving you just Butch realness, not Butch Queen. Well,
there you go.
She was giving you. What's it called? It was giving you. Bill was giving you Butch Queen wellness. But yeah, so I think they stole the show a little bit. I couldn't figure out if the daughter was supposed to like Amanda. I'm gonna pick on her a little bit. So Amanda Seyfried, I don't know where she's from. I looked it up. I looked up everybody on Wikipedia, but my brain didn't want to remember.
Yes,
where
she's
from.
American.
I know she's American.
From
She's
Pennsylvania, Allentown.
Yeah.
Okay, so why was she giving you this kind of almost American Empire sort of dialect almost? You know what
I
American?
think that was her attempt for a Greek accent.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
No, I don't think she's supposed to have a
I think she
Greek
was supposed to be
accent.
have an American accent.
Yeah,
but it was so
I think she's supposed to
affected.
be American. Donna
Do you know
is
what-
American, I think, too.
Do you know what American Empire is? It's like that dialect that Katharine Hepburn and people
Okay.
American, where they almost sounded British, but they weren't, But it was almost like they had this almost faded English accent, almost. And for some of her
Like
scenes,
Pretty Crane.
yes, exactly. And for some of her scenes, I thought she was trying to give that. I was like, don't do it. Don't try to do an accent. Just it was something about her in this movie that I felt like, because she is, I guess, a stage actress, I guess, and some people are good at sort of knowing that you can't be that way in a movie. I think it was Katharine Hepburn, speaking of Katharine Hepburn, who said, when she first started doing movies, she would talk like she was on the stage and all this. Somebody had to tell her, no, baby, we got microphones. And, I sometimes feel like actresses or actors that do both, some are good at switching it up for movies and stage, but some of them just kind of bring this kind of, like they just stepped out of a high school production of Guys and Dolls. And, that's what I was saying. She's kind of was giving you, I'm in a movie and I'm acting, I just felt like whenever she was on stage, on film, that's what it felt like.
The accent that always confused me was Pierce Brosnan. I was like, is he supposed to be American? Is he supposed to be British? But then I was like, we already have a Brit. We have a Swede. So I guess he was supposed to be Irish American?
I don't know.
Like an American of Irish descent? Like I didn't understand him.
But he's Scottish, right?
I don't know.
Isn't Pierce Brosnan, is he Scottish? I don't know.
No, he's Irish. I just
Never
looked
cared
it up.
enough to know.
He's Irish. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the guys. Did anybody really care who the father was?
Yes.
Okay, who did you think it was going to be?
Well, I feel that the only logical choice is Bill.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one that makes the most sense. He's the only blonde. She's got the blonde because of the whole, my family member left it to someone who is family. So, it's you. So, okay, you're the daughter. But then everybody else was like, oh no, you're my daughter. And I'm like, what?
I thought so because and he's the one that gave her the advice, like, your life is an adventure or something. He seemed the most kind of laid back, down to earth. Of course, she wanted to be the good looking, pulled together type father, which was kind of creepy. It's like you don't pick you're trying to pick your dad when you think it's, the most attractive in a way, when any of them could be. She naturally thought it was Pierce.
My dad.
But I thought it was him too, and I thought they were actually going to reveal it. But
They cheated out.
They didn't. Did anybody else think it was one of the other guys?
I didn't care.
That's probably the right answer.
I really did. I really tried to care, but I didn't because so many people in this movie were awful. I just didn't care.
Let's talk. Not that I'm saying. Well, since we're on the subject of awful, I don't want it to come off like that, but I do want to talk about her little fiance.
Oh, okay, Sky.
Did they not have any chemistry at all?
None at all. I was like, you get married? Okay.
They actually were in a relationship, or they got into a relationship, I think, after the movie or while filming.
That might be why.
Well, there you go.
Know how
Should have dated.
They say couples are never, like when Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were in Julie.
Well, Julie was bad for other reasons.
They often say that couples that are involved aren't good on screen together sometimes. But I just think these two, I don't know. They seem mismatched on screen at least. I don't know what his background is. I couldn't tell whether he was really a good singer or not. It was just, I was confused by his character. I didn't get a sense that, I kind of thought he had more sense than she did, though.
Well, yeah.
But, I understood her wanting to find her father, inviting the guys. Their wedding seemed very casual, so I didn't understand why he was sort of like angry that she invited these three people. It wasn't like, oh, we're paying $200 a plate, to feed everyone. It seemed very casual anyway. But I didn't get their relationship. It just seemed like, okay, this is a plot point. We're going to put this, in the movie. So, to kind of be the jump off for this shenanigans to begin. But I never got any real sense that they had any chemistry or that was just so unbelievable. What did anybody think of
Pepper and Tanya?
The supporting huh?
I said Pepper and Tanya.
They
had sex, right?
Who?
Pepper and Tanya.
Pepper and Tanya.
Pepper and Tanya.
Yeah, she was like, let's not talk about last night. Last night was just a one-time thing.
And then she does that thing where she gets on her knees and it looks like she's giving him head.
Oh, that was so good.
And then it's just a towel tie.
She makes it like a diaper.
Lord. What'd you guys think of the bartender?
That's Pepper.
That's Pepper.
Oh, that's Pepper.
Yes, I do hate that the only black person with dialogue amongst the sea of white people is called Pepper.
Isn't that interesting?
For any other movie, maybe, probably. For this one, not so much.
Okay.
There was the other dancer.
Yeah, there was another black male dancer, and I remember during Voulez-Vous, I saw a black female dancer, who I guess is one of the bachelorette party girls. But I was like, okay, Well, it's very Greek.
You know, Pepper just didn't. It was something very odd about Pepper.
Deadly, talk to us about Pepper.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Deadly.
From what show? I know what Pepper you're talking about.
Pepper from the.
I think you like Pepper because he looked Aboriginal or something. You got a thing against Aborigines.
No.
What's up with that?
Pepper didn't look like Pepper. I didn't say. I just wasn't convinced by his character. I didn't say nothing about how he looked.
Do you think they had sex, Deadly?
Well, that's what was inferred, that Tanya and him had sex, and she's like, you can't handle an older woman like me. She's a MILF.
Oh my gosh.
But he was trying. I liked their little number. That's about the only number I really liked was that little number they had on the beach. I thought that was cute.
See how Deadly does? I say nothing about what Pepper looked like. Yo,
He knows the truth.
He looked average. He looked average. I don't know what Pepper is. Pepper might be easy. I know one thing. Them highlights was giving me.
Pepper had a cute smile. I liked me some Pepper.
You were being defensive. That's what it was.
Oh. Got to defend his boo thing.
He was getting salty over Pepper.
Oh, I see what you did there.
That was funny, huh? That was funny.
No one else got it, but I see what you did.
So, no, but Pepper could dance. Pepper did his little, dance.
This movie to me was like in three parts. Like the first act, I was kind of like into it. I'm like, all right, let's see what happened. I liked seeing Tanya and Rosie getting, where they're going, and even the three guys on the ship. I was like, where are they going? And I was checking out, Sophie's over there waiting on somebody, and even Meryl doing her thing for a minute. But then the middle part, oh my God, I was just over it. Meryl tripping about these three guys and leave the island and don't leave the island and this and that. And then the last part was actually good. The last 30 minutes I enjoyed. Like once they got into the church, like after Meryl's stupid song where she going up the church.
And she was late.
Oh yeah, she late. And then, but
Talking
once the wedding
sabotage.
started.
Because everything was about her.
Yeah, once the wedding started and after the wedding.
He's getting into the psychology of it. I love it.
Yeah, after the wedding, once the guy and the girl, Sophie and what's the
Sky,
name? Or whatever his name is.
Well, they didn't get married anyway.
Sky, yeah. When they said, let's not get married. After that, then the whole movie just connected. Everyone just had fun. It was party time. It was, they let their hair down. Colin got his gay on. It was just, it was kind of fun. But
can we talk about the musical?
She took her daughter's wedding.
Oh God.
That's weird. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
That
That's
was
so
Pierce
sad.
Brosnan's
We're not
idea,
getting married,
though.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get married. Let's use this wedding anyway.
We already have the venue booked.
Right.
You know how difficult it is to book that church all the way at the top of the mountain?
But that's been done in movies before, though.
Mm.
Didn't that happen in one of the Tyler Perry movies even did that?
Yeah, Medea goes to jail.
That.
Mm.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the musical numbers?
Okay. Go ahead, you start. There is something I do want to say about the musical numbers.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I want to say is I love how they turned Meryl Streep into Biggie Smalls during Money, Money, Money. Because she was on the yacht very Biggie Smalls-ish. I expected her to start singing Biggie, 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 Can't You See? Like that was spectacular. I think my favorite musical number was Dancing Queen because I liked how they turned it into like a girl power number. And like the whole, like all the women in on the island, sort of like joined, and I thought that was really well done. And like a part of me like really likes Super Trooper, just for its like cheesiness. Yeah.
I was, as far as production numbers go, I thought some of the production numbers looked a little except for Christine Baranski's number.
Does Your Mother Know?
I liked her number.
Yeah, that one was really good.
It was good. It was choreographed well. Some of the other ones, the choreography just looked kind of random, and then the cutaways.
And it was the same people, those same creepy people that were always there. I was like, why?
Well, because they were supposed to be the Greek chorus.
It was that nosy ass little town they were in.
They were supposed to be the Greek chorus. Like sometimes they are there, but they're not there in a sense. Because if you remember during the Mamma Mia number, she was like trying to open the latch, but she couldn't. And then all of a sudden, one of the Greek chorus people opens it up for her, and then she's looking around like, how did that happen? Mm-hmm. And then they blow on her, and they blow on her, and she falls down. So sometimes they weren't there. They were just sort of like a Greek chorus would in like a Greek play.
Mm.
But in a Greek, like the Greek chorus in a Greek play pushes the plot along.
Well, they pushed there. They blew there too.
Well, I was just saying, as far as the production goes, like some of the production numbers, the choreography seemed random, and then it was like cutaway photography, like they kind of cutaway, like they used to do in music videos where you wouldn't see everything,
like money.
I think if you do a production number, then you need to be able to see the choreography.
Yeah, that is true. Mm-hmm. I did like during Dancing Queen when Rosie and her crotch. That kills me every time too. Like I always know it's coming, but when her crotch squeaks on the banister, I love it. I just love it.
Oh my goodness!
Lordy.
What about everybody else? The good and the bad. I'd love to hear what it like the worst musical number too.
Well, the ones that didn't work for me were the one. I mean, some of it, the way it was set up, like it just reminded me of like karaoke night. You know what I mean? I was like, I wasn't expecting voices like, I wasn't expecting great voices, but I think maybe they should have kind of worked with it in the studio a little bit I don't know. I think not a bad voice, but a voice that's kind of quirky. Like we've done some, like when we did Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, and Angela Lansbury has always had like a quirky voice, and it can be endearing, but there's a difference between like quirky and bad singing, And sometimes that did kind of take me out of it a little bit, like it would take me out of the movie. I didn't fast forward through any of the songs, but
I do when I rewatch.
I don't know if it would have been better to have some of them like dubbed with somebody else singing. I don't know.
Yep.
Well, Pierce Brosnan, of course.
Everybody.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Again, these are songs that I like, and every time somebody started singing, my ear just hurt. And it was like,
oh my gosh,
a song, and it just doesn't sound right. I can't really fuck with that.
You spoke about Sophie not having any chemistry with Sky. I thought the mother-daughter chemistry was really good between Meryl and Sophie, because I liked slipping through my fingers, and I liked the combination of their voices when they sang together. I thought that worked.
That's a pretty song, and I did like that moment.
Because it looked like they used like B-roll of them just like painting each other's nails and stuff, which it was kind of neat to see.
Yeah. That was a nice song. I actually did like the way that Meryl delivered that song.
Yeah, it felt very real. Legionnaire, I kind of want to ask you, since you've seen the stage version, obviously it's not the same as like being on an actual Greek island, but like comparing the stage version to the movie, like what's your take on that?
Well, as I said in past broadcasts, I'm usually really not a fan of these things being turned into movies, but this was one that actually, well, for me anyway, actually worked in a lot of ways. I mean, the only problem with turning this stage production into a movie is that it really exposes the plot holes.
Yeah.
Whereas in a musical, you can kind of gloss over that because the production numbers are so much fun, you know, that the story becomes incidental, and then it's not such a big deal. But when you're doing this, when you're turning it into a movie, then the story really does need to make a lot more sense in a lot of things. So those little things that might have been not so noticeable on stage were very noticeable in the movie.
Now, this movie was filmed on location?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to ask Vanetta, was your artist's eyes, did they waste their money? Because, I mean, it was like, yes, it was a nice location, but it didn't seem to me like it couldn't have been recreated somewhere else. Like, I didn't see...
On the sound stage somewhere.
Yeah, not as even a soundstage, but even in another beachy area that wasn't in, you know, like, it just, like, if you're going to use, like, a scene like when they film Lord of the Rings, they go to New Zealand or somewhere like that, you know, where they can't get vistas and views like that. But this, I don't think they used the location to their full benefit. How did you feel about how it was, how it was styled and how it was presented, Vanetta?
And before Vanetta answers, just to give a little information, it was shot actually in Greece.
Yeah.
Okay, so to me, I felt that the way the areas felt very cramped in certain areas, and then there was the beach and the wide open spaces seemed very Greek. It seemed very much very authentic, and that's something that you may not have gotten with a location shoot that was somewhere else that was supposed to have been Greece. I was okay with that, and you know, hey, if I were a director, I would definitely insist on shooting on location so that I can go have a vacation that is paid for by the production company, because it was beautiful. It was probably cold as fuck.
No, I think I read they shot it in the summer, but I don't know what Greece is like in the summer.
It's still cold. I went to Austria, and there were some kids there from Greece, and they were saying, yeah, this feels like home. It's so hot. And it was 76 degrees, and these people were sweating.
Oh, wow.
I was like, baby, that's not hot. That's not hot at all.
Do we think that was like a real hotel, or were those homes that they made look like a hotel type of thing?
Well, hotels are different over there. Like, so it's not like, when we think of a hotel, we think of something nice, you know, with room service and stuff like that. What they call a hotel is usually it's what we call a guest house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or bed breakfast or something
breakfast,
like that. Yeah. Where it's some, you know, it's a house that has extra rooms and sinks in each of the rooms, and that's kind of what lends itself to other people staying there. And you know, it was literally a house that was big enough to rent out rooms. That's basically what it was.
She had a lot of staff, though. I thought that was kind of impressive for it being like very run down and her complaining about not having money and not accepting
Maybe
the
that's why
money
she
from.
didn't have money. She had too many people working.
Well, there you go. But I love how she needs money, and you've got rich friends who are willing to give you the money to like help,
And you won't take it.
and you won't take it. Like, come on, Donna. Like you're wanting a rich man to sweep into town and pick you off your feet. It's not going to happen when you're 37 or your real age.
You're awful. You're awful.
How dare you, Poppy?
I know, right?
Well, we have reached that point of the show where we look and see what awards this movie has won. So I'm going to go kind of rapid fire because it's a lot of them. Golden Globes nominee for Best Picture, Golden Globes nominee for Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture or Comedy or Musical, Meryl Streep, of course. BAFTA Awards for Best British Film nominee. Another Anthony Asquith Award for Film Music. Work it out, Anthony Asquith. Carl Foreman Award for the Most Promising Newcomer, Judy Kramer. Oh, she was a producer. Ooh, snap. I thought it was, they wasn't for Amanda Seyfried. And the AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Awards. I love that.
Yes.
Best Supporting Actress, Christine Baranski and Julie Walters. Yes.
Get it, ladies.
She deserves that. She does.
Yes, we AARP them.
They were winners for Best Supporting Movies for Grown-Ups Award. Breakaway Accomplishment, Pierce Brosnan was a winner. And then a bunch of other, there's the Alliance of Women Film Journalists, Amanda Awards Norway. It was just a bunch of awards.
I read that the AARP Awards were given out at the Blockbuster that Vanetta used to work at. Yes. Vanetta was handing out the awards.
That was me.
So we are going to go into some of our camp awards. All right. Who was the ingenue?
Oh, I have the perfect answer for this. Okay. So you got to close your eyes and remember, during Dancing Queen, there's a scene with a woman carrying a lot of wood, and then she tosses the wood to the side and she says, "Oh yeah."
And that makes her an ingenue.
She is the ingenue, that old lady.
You know what? And I will back Poppy up on that.
Okay.
Yes. I loved her ever since the first time I saw her in the movie. I was like, why couldn't she have been in more scenes?
Yes.
Well, I always think of an ingenue as someone who's just sort of a scene.
I don't think she has ever been in anything, so that was her breakout role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Pepper. You will not be the ingenue.
Well, Pepper they could share.
Pepper and Bill's boyfriend. Talk about beautiful ingenues.
Well, they were pretty, that's for sure.
He was pretty.
His name is Petros.
Yes.
Petros.
Actually, his name was Pepper, and she was white. Made them salt and pepper. That's what I kept thinking the whole time. I thought somebody was gonna make that joke, but they never did.
Does your mother know?
They were having a hard enough time with the jokes that they had written for the movie. Who was the biggest douche?
Oh, I don't want to say it. I was about to say Donna too.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was kind of douchey.
Yeah, and she took like 5 minutes to run up the mountain while she's singing. My favorite was that like she's running up the mountain and he's like right behind her, but yet she made it to the top of the mountain, but he had to wait to be on like a little piece of rocks to scream, "Donna!"
What was the Good Ship Lollipop most saccharine sweet moment?
Slipping through my fingers.
My Three Dads.
Oh yeah, when they all stood up.
I'll be a third of you.
Yeah.
I'll be a third of you. Really?
Oh yes.
Mm.
I'll take a dad. What
He
was
only
the
had a
best?
dog.
What was the best musical number? For me, it was Christine Baranski's number with all the guys on the beach, and they were all laid out when she got down.
Does your mother know?
But wait,
that
you
was-
said you didn't like Pepper. Now you like Pepper all of a sudden.
Who?
I didn't say it. I said all the guys on the beach. were
Oh,
laid
except
out.
Pepper. Okay.
Except Pepper.
I will pass the pepper. Okay.
For me, it was the one during the ending credits because that meant the movie was over.
Oh my gosh. Hater.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
You're no fun. We've sat through your movies before.
What?
Wait, no, I didn't
would
give
say
mine.
Dancing Queen.
I'm going to say
Dancing
Dancing
Queen's
Queen
gotta be
too.
the one.
I
Yeah,
thought it was beautifully shot.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the crotch squeaking.
Okay.
Mm.
What was the worst musical number?
Oh, SOS.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And the one where he's giving the toast. Whatever it's called. The winner. No, what was that
Winner
one?
Take-
No, that wasn't Winner Takes It
No.
All. When all is said and done.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna give this Papi Chulo rating on a scale from 1 to 10 marshmallows. Let's start with you, Mr. Pepper Lover, Lee.
Well, like I said, there's like 3 different movies in one. The beginning was like, oh, okay, the middle really sucked, and then the ending I loved. So I'm probably gonna just give it 5.
Okay.
5 yellow bricks. Oh no, 5 5 marshmallows.
Ease on down the road, Deadly.
Okay.
Take a chance on me.
Let's go to Vanetta Berry.
First time seeing it. I was a little disturbed by the storyline. It's a little bit of slut shaming and it's just weird. I tried to stop being realistic about it and enjoy the ABBA, but they kept ruining the ABBA with the story. And ABBA was nice. I like ABBA. I would have liked to have the storyline be a little bit more connecting to ABBA. It was just like, oh, we got these songs. Let's write this sloppy story around it. And that made me sad. So
It
maybe
was
the
sad.
stage production is better, but the movie kind of left me feeling less than. So I'm going to give it 5 marshmallows.
Okay. So you're saying the story was an aberration.
Oh.
Wonk, wonk.
Don't quit your day job.
All right, Legionnaire, what did you think?
Having seen the stage production, having this to compare it to, I will still say that unlike most of these things that they turn into movies, I actually enjoyed this. I really did. I thought that the story suffered a great deal in translation, but I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the ABBA. I enjoy Christine Baranski. I mean, I'm happy to see her do anything because she amuses me whatever she's in. She, like you said, that one note she does well for me. So I can watch it again and again. And I, even though I had issues with Meryl Streep's character, I did like her in this movie. I really did. So I give it, I'll give it 8 marshmallows.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Roos.
Thought you were going to save the best for last.
Oh, I am.
Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I know exactly who you mean. Yes, they're stewing on a pot of yellow bricks. Okay. I enjoy this movie, and I enjoy this movie because it is a bit of a mess. Like, the storyline is non-existent, and the very little that's there is very stupid. The singing, some of it I think is really good, some of it's okay, and some of it is atrocious. Like, I've seen this movie many times, and I do fast forward through some of the musical numbers because some of them are no bueno. I think the location was beautiful. Like, I kind of want to visit Greece now because I thought it was shot beautifully there. And I just think it's a fun movie. Like, for me, Meryl Streep elevated the movie immensely, even though, like, her age does not make sense with Donna's age. Sorry, Meryl. But I can't picture anybody else playing Donna now. Like, she completely sold it for me, no matter what her judgment was, because that I don't necessarily agree with, and her own sort of persnickety behavior and attitude. I really liked Donna, and I was completely sold with Meryl Streep's portrayal of Donna. She really grounds the movie and yet elevates it as well. And I think she brought out the best in her co-stars, and loved Christine Baranski. Both Tanya and Rosie were fantastic and are always awesome to see on the screen when they're in scenes in the movie. So, with all of that said and done, because of the little flaws that it does have, I can't give it a perfect score. So I'm going to give it a solid 9, like jumbo-sized marshmallows, because they're ooey gooey and kind of messy, kind of like the movie.
All right. Well,
Oh, and I also loved seeing Meryl Streep play Biggie Smalls during Money, Money, Money.
that's that then. I kind of didn't like this movie. I didn't. I'm sorry, y'all. I kind of didn't like it. I don't. Well, probably just because it was a mess, but to me, not in the fun way, kind of a mess. And I actually can kind of look past some of the bad singing. It just didn't hold together for me, and then it was so blown up in the press, like, oh my God, this is like, so awesome. And then I finally see it, and believe it or not, I did not go into it with any kind of, like, I want to hate this, until I started getting. I just think they could have found a better young actress to play the Sophie part, and just taking a little bit more time with kind of pulling it together, because I think it is a fun movie in some ways. My eyes didn't bleed, but I still had a hard time with it. So that being said, while it won't get a Vanetta Bear Burnt Stick Award, I can only muster maybe 4 marshmallows.
Wow, that's even better than I thought, considering all of the...
Well, as someone we know, well, and love, it was made, it was shown in the theater, and it was not Showgirls. So,
well, there you go. I will say, to what you were saying about the press sort of blowing up the movie, I think the reason they did that is because the Broadway play is like, it was a huge moneymaker.
It was a gigantic hit.
A huge hit. And I don't know if it still holds up, because I think a couple other movie musicals have come out since then, but at one point this was like the #1 box office movie musical of all time. Like, it made the most money.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. And so, last and certainly not least, Mr. Derek, Anthony.
Oh, I'm not acknowledging your hate. I'm going.
Donna Sheridan, you shady lady.
I've been sitting here for the last few minutes trying to figure out. Someone told me I should name 3 positive things and 3 negative things, and yeah, this is getting a burnt stick award for me. It's like right slightly maybe above Showgirls, maybe. We've reviewed a number of movies, and some of them have been some more artsy type films that I haven't necessarily appreciated, but I can put them a little higher because they are art films and you may need to be in the right frame of mind. But this was just, a regular box office movie that was trying to capitalize on, some stuff. And so, like at the beginning, when I said I was serving the sweet tea fried chicken, because I saw that recipe today where you actually brine the chicken in sweet tea before you fry it. Those things sound good, but not together. And this movie was kind of that for me. All of these things that were in it. Again, there were some actors that I really liked. There was some music that I really liked. And contrary to popular belief, I do like musicals, even when they're made into movies. But I watched this in 20-minute increments because I kept saying, oh my God, is this movie still going? So, no, it got the burnt and dug into the ground so nobody could find it award for me.
Wow.
Don't need no hateration in this dancery.
You know what? I am wearing my hateration cap.
You've been spewing on a cesspool throughout this entire broadcast.
Because
I felt the disturbance in the force.
Because the movie was horrible, and it would not have been horrible if it had been some people that I didn't like in the movie or some music that I didn't like in the movie. But the way they kind of twisted and turned the story, or what lack of story around, to fit with the ABBA songs, I was like, for real?
Well, that's more the musical's fault, because that's what the musical is.
Let me interject for a second, because I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it on the head with your chef's mind. They had all the ingredients.
Yeah,
they had all the ingredients for this movie, and I don't think they cooked it long enough.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's half baked.
From the out.
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna go to my lowest bar movie, which is Showgirls. You don't expect much from Showgirls because, look at the cast. Look at the cast. So
leave Gina Gershon out of this.
It feels a little better to dislike that movie because, okay, I didn't expect much from you, and hey, I didn't get it. But Mamma Mia is different because, again, it has all of these wonderful elements in it. They just don't gel together well, and the sauce is fighting itself. You put it in your mouth, and it's kicking your tonsils in a horrible fashion.
Wow. Well,
Vanetta's speechless.
I agree. Well, I know we're at the end, Maurice, but as the camp owner, I can overrule for half a second. I want to pose this question because now I'm kind of curious. Let's pretend we were casting this movie.
Oh.
Who would we have cast in the main roles?
Okay, it was 2008. What young actress? Because to tell the truth, I would have maybe liked this movie to have been about the older characters and not even have had that sort of plot with the young people getting married and the father. I don't know. Maybe it should have been about this woman who was on this island and decided and had this life and decided to find this man that she had fallen in love with 20 years, and then invited the three of them back to the island for some other reason or something. I don't know. It just.
Then you'd have to rewind to the 1990s when they made the musical.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the who the cast, who was hot in 2008.
Or not even thinking about 2008. Just who would you cast today if they were going to make Mamma Mia now into the movie? Who would fit?
I would cast Jennifer Lewis as the mother.
Oh my gosh, that would be bad.
She would not be 37 either.
I would cast Jennifer Lewis as Donna. Because then at least it'd be funny.
Well, there you go. And Nia Peoples.
Nicole Kidman. It'd be Nicole Kidman, maybe.
That's what? The grandmother?
Ooh.
The grandmother that died?
You know what? It's time for everyone to report back.
Nia Peoples as Sophie.
I can see Nicole Kidman as...
Name the Cherry as Sophie.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
I'm confused. You all do realize, though, that we give people jobs here on Summer Camp because Lauren Hutton is back after y'all spoke about her a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did conjure her up.
Yes, she is modeling for Calvin Klein in TV commercials.
God bless her.
Working out.
It's all because of you kind folks at Summer Camp.
Right. Meanwhile, Beverly Johnson and Iman look the same as they did 20 years ago, and they
I know, right? But that's because you hadn't mentioned. Well, you did mention Beverly Johnson, I think, before. But now Nia Peoples. I know she's waiting by the phone because we talk about her so much.
I love Nia.
Nia Peoples. Any last thoughts?
Super Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Love the music, not so much the movie.
And I think that says it all. It's time for everyone to report back to their cabins. Your bunk beds are waiting for you. Join us next time for a brand new installment of Summer Camp. Once again, here's one of our campers on our PA system with a new and a few announcements on how you can interact with us via social media.
Thank you for the intro. Binge listen to your favorite Poppy Chula Radio programs by visiting poppychularadio.com/archives. You can also download tonight's broadcast and the rest of the series through iTunes. Just search for Poppy Chula Radio Summer Camp and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCR Summer Camp. Follow us on Tumblr, summercamp-pcr.tumblr.com. Follow Poppy Chula Radio on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Poppy Chula Radio. Do you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or concerns? Email us via contact@poppychularadio.com. Help support Poppy Chula Radio financially by visiting GoFundMe.com/PoppyChulaRadio. Help support Poppy Chula Radio financially by visiting GoFundMe.com/PoppyChulaRadio. Are you interested in joining the Poppy Chula Radio team as an on-air personality or blog contributor? Email talent@poppychularadio.com. Now, back to you, camp counselors.
Thank you.
We're not that new.
My fellow camp counselors, please wish our campers and the listeners a good night.
Good night, campers.
Good night.
Later.
Here I go again.
Derek Anthony, you shady lady. Good night, campers. And good night to all the Greeks listening to us. And especially you, our ingenue.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Good night and lights out.